Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Joy of Sticks. Stickhead here with your Atari ST gaming channel. Now, this is a video response to a YouTube user called Novabug, who has had a fantastic idea of doing something called the Friday Foursome, where he on a Friday he poses a question and asks you to reply with 4 things that are relevant to that. And this week he's asked us for 4 pieces of technology that we miss. Wow, that was a really hard question to answer because, you know, we're retro gamers, we're wired that way to have this nostalgia for old stuff. So there's 1,000,001 things that aren't current that I love, that you could say I miss. But then, do you really miss them? Because you can still use them, right? I'm incredibly nostalgic about the Atari ST, but it's still right here and I can still use it. So why would I say I miss that? So yeah, it was kind of racking my brains about this, and I came up with something that I do really miss. And it's not because those things aren't around anymore. You can still use those things for sure, but it's because how technology has advanced that changes the way we interact with it. And what I miss is the individuality of technological items. I know I'm going to find this really difficult to explain, but what I mean by that is we used to use a different gadget, a different item, depending on the job we needed to do. If we wanted to communicate with someone, we'd use the phone, or we'd write a letter. If we wanted to listen to some music, we'd whack out a Walkman or put on a record. If we wanted to play some games, we'd use a console or a computer to play some games. If we wanted to take a photo, we'd use a camera. If we wanted to take a video, we'd use a camcorder. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Whereas now, we have these 2 or 3 devices in our lives that just do everything. And that's no bad thing. That's, you know, it's a real convenience. It's really nice to have everything you need in your pocket. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a smartphone, you've got a computer, a camera, a video camera, a games machine, a letter writing device, word processing. You've got everything you could possibly need in your pocket, and that's amazing. If you'd have told me about that when I was, you know, a kid, 8 years old or whatever, 1988, I'd have thought, yeah, you've been watching too much Star Trek, mate. That ain't going to happen. But it is, and it's fantastic. But it does take away a bit of the character of technology. Do you know what I mean? I miss the physicality of things. The prime example of that is music, because I'm a Spotify subscriber. I love music, and Spotify is amazing because I've got this world of music. Any device that I log onto, my iPad, my phone, my computer, even my TV, whatever I'm using, I have a world of music just there, right at my fingertips, or just a search away, and there's something brand new or an old favourite of mine, or, you know, it's all there. But it doesn't quite compare to leafing through a load of old dusty vinyl and pulling out something that I remember this, I haven't played this for ages, and getting it out and putting it on and placing the stylus down and hearing the crackle and the smells of the fusty, you know, wow. I could talk about this for ages, but do you see what I mean? It's those kind of experiences that we miss. We've kind of traded them in for convenience. Gaming's the exact same, and emulating is a prime example of that. You know, at my fingertips right now, I'm sitting at my computer, I could play virtually any game from history. Do you know what I mean? I could fire up an MSX emulator and play that. Or, you know, if I wanted to play the ST, I could fire up the Steam emulator and stick on IK Plus and away I go. But there's something soulless about that somehow. Again, it's convenient and it's great for discovering new things, but I tend to play for 10-15 minutes when I do that. And a bit like music, I do the same. I tend to listen to like a minute of a track and then skip to the next one and skip to the next one. When I'm on Spotify, it's distracting. There's too much out there for me to really focus in and concentrate on one thing. And gaming's exactly the same. Without that kind of technology, the old technology of getting out a box and getting out the floppy disk and whacking it in the drive and sitting down and plugging in the joystick and stuff, without that physicality, I find myself flitting all over the place. Whereas when I get a real console out and hook that up and play it, I sit and play it for a long time. And it's the same thing with communication. You know, text messages and emails are just, you know, they're really convenient, they're really handy, but they're just toss away, throw away little bits of snippets of information. Whereas, you know, if you sit down to write somebody a letter, you really pour your heart and soul into this letter. But yeah, I've realised that I've rambled on for quite some time. But there you go. That's what I miss about old technology. Not necessarily the technology itself, because it's still there and we can still use it if we choose to. It's just that how technology has come on, how it's progressed, means we don't have these separate bits of kit anymore that really focus us in on the experience. Does that sound really poncy and ridiculous and first world problems? It probably does, but that's how I feel. I always find it much more rewarding to get out a dedicated piece of kit to do something than I do to just use my computer or my mobile phone or my tablet or whatever. So there you go. That's what I miss about old technology. I know we're supposed to come up with 4, but that does kind of encompass 4, sort of. You know, your music player, your game devices, your the actual physical act of writing a letter, and one more. I don't know. But yeah, you get the idea anyway. So there you go. Yeah, it's a fantastic thing that Novabug's doing, and it's really cool to watch everyone's responses. And I know I'll be watching responses and kicking myself thinking, yeah, why didn't I think of that? But yeah, great stuff. So thanks, Novabug. I really enjoyed answering that. What I'm going to do now, and you're more than welcome to stop watching now if you like, but the Friday Foursome's actually been going on now. This is number 5. So there are 4 that I've missed. So in keeping with the Friday Foursome theme, I thought I'll answer those 4 in a quick kind of potted manner, just for my own fun, really, more than anything. So yeah, no, number 1, he said about gaming controllers. Well, there's only one answer there, really, isn't there? And it's got to be the Zip Stick. This is the king of controllers. They perfected it in the 80s. They needn't have bothered developing gaming controllers after this. Perfect, beautifully micro switched, so responsive and quick. It's all in the travel. It's all in the amount of travel on a joystick. Honestly, tiny amount of travel, really definite click of when you know it's actuating. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Fits in your hand nicely, very comfortably, and perfect. And perfect for Daley Thompson's decathlon. You can't go wrong with a Zip Stick. Okay, the most cherished games. That was number 2. Most cherished. That has to be this one. Not because it's you know, a prized part of the collection or anything. It's not particularly valuable. Most SD games aren't. It's not particularly rare. It's just that this is. I've got so many fantastic memories of playing this. Championship Manager 93. Basically, me, my uncle and my cousin would play it for hours and hours and hours on end. We'd play it for so much that me and my cousin would get bored. We'd have to go and do something else, and my uncle would just carry on. Memories of us saying, "Oh, I've had enough now. Should we have a break? Yeah, let's go and play some basketball." So I used to have a basketball hoop outside in my garden, so we'd go out and shoot some hoops. And my uncle would stick his head out the window from time to time and be like, "Mark, I've just signed Ian Wright for you." And then shut the window and be like, and he would carry on for hours and hours, and then we'd go back up and resume our position. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. What a just lovely memories, and that's why that's my most cherished game. Oh, okay, what else was there? Gaming regrets. Well, my biggest regrets are selling my old kit. I think most retro gamers have done this, selling old stuff and wishing you'd kept hold of it. What have I sold in the past? Virtually everything. I mean, Acorn Electron was my first computer. We didn't sell that, we gave it away to somebody, so that doesn't feel quite as bad because it's quite charitable. The Amstrad CPC I sold. My first Atari ST. I sold Super Nintendo. I sold PlayStation. I sold Nintendo 64. Dreamcast? Or did I keep my... I don't know, but all the way through, because I'm not in a position where money's no object, you sell systems to buy the next big thing, don't you? But you always get a pittance for it. I just wish I'd have held on to those original consoles that I've owned, because I've since bought them again, which is ridiculous. But obviously you can't replace the actual one that you used to play on, so it would be lovely to have those. So here you go, yeah, there's my biggest gaming regret. And the number 4 Friday foursome was franchises to kill. There's only one answer there, it's Sonic. I'm so sad to say it, but Sonic, oh my word, definitely time to put that one to bed. I mean, they haven't made a decent Sonic game for what, 2 decades? Honestly, the series peaked with Sonic 2. I know Sonic 3 is good, and Sonic and Knuckles is cool as well, but it peaked with Sonic 2 and it hasn't reached those heady heights since. There's been some terrible, terrible games in the series, some okay ones, and just recently, what's it called, the latest one? Sonic Boom, is it? Which is just awful, an unfinished mess. Yeah, it's time to kill Sonic. Bless him. I mean, it wouldn't be time to kill Sonic if Sega had done the decent thing and what Capcom have done with their franchises. I'm thinking along the lines of Mega Man. Their rebooting of Mega Man has been fantastic. Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10. They're just like the old games, but more of it. And that's all we need from Sonic. We basically just need the old Mega Drive 2D Sonic games, but more. I mean, I know they tried to do that with Sonic 4, but then they didn't. They made it 3D and they changed Sonic's animation and it was all floaty and nasty. They just, for some reason, the people in Sonic Team don't know what makes Sonic good. They just don't understand it. So yeah, time to put it to bed, I think. Lay it to rest, like the Capcom with Mega Man. Lay it to rest and let somebody come back and have another crack in like 10 years' time. Somebody who knows what they're doing. But anyway, there you go. Those are my responses to... I know I'm supposed to do 4 for each, but we haven't got time. We'd be here all day. Those are my responses to Novabug's questions. Really enjoyed answering those. So yeah, I'm going to definitely take part in some more of those. And I'll put a link to Novabug's channel in the description. So if you want to take part in the Friday foursome, then you can do so. If you don't want to film a video response, then that's fine. Just head to his video and put your responses in his comments. Yeah, fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.